Hello and welcome to this video focused on VoiceThread. It is approximately 28 minutes in total, but is divided by topic. And to make it easier to navigate, you'll also see the approximate time where each topic begins. Thank you very much to Faith Marcel for leading this session.
So now we get to the fun stuff. How do we access VoiceThread? And I'm just trying to be conscious of the time here. So yes, now there we go. So to access VoiceThread through Blackboard, first of all, we have to make it available, just like most of our sort of extra course tools that we do have. So we can do this through customization and tool availability. And you'll have to kind of scroll all the way down because it starts with a V. So it is near the bottom, and you'll have to make sure that the box is checked here. And then you'll click on Submit. And this will make VoiceThread available for you in your particular course. So it's not going to make it available in all of your courses, only the one course that you are in at the time. Alrighty, perfect. So then to create and share the VoiceThreads, once we've set it up, we can go right into our course and start to create VoiceThreads and share them with our students. So there are two main steps for us always to kind of keep in mind, and that is, first of all, the Blackboard front-facing to the students piece, and then our VoiceThread account, which is kind of the part that the students don't necessarily see when we're creating the VoiceThread, but it's our VoiceThread account, and the students also have that kind of VoiceThread account, and they are as one when we're using them in Blackboard. But we have to keep in mind that there are kind of two steps. We have to make it sort of how we want to show it to the students, and then how we want that VoiceThread to look within VoiceThread. And so what do I mean by that? Essentially, first we have to create the VoiceThread link in Blackboard. And then once we've created that link, it will allow us to go into VoiceThread and to create the kind of VoiceThread that we want to make for the students, just as we've seen with the other examples. So you'll go into any content area, click on Build Content, and choose VoiceThread. And then there are three main ways for us to be able to set up our VoiceThread: the course view, individual view, and home view. So this is what the students are going to see within Blackboard once they click on the link that you've given them. So they can see either the individual VoiceThread, where you are sharing just one VoiceThread in your course, so just like the ones we've seen, and you can choose one that you've already created or create a new one. You could also share the course view, where you have all of the VoiceThreads that you have created for your course, and that is a kind of course group that as soon as you create new VoiceThreads that are shared within your course, they are all automatically going to show in that course view. But if you link it in Blackboard, the students go directly to see that course view. And then the third option is the home option for VoiceThread Home, and that's just a link to the VoiceThread home page in your course. So just as any other external tool, we'd have our kind of own dashboard, our home page. So we could put a link to that home page for the students as well. So for myself, what I usually use is I usually just share the one VoiceThread that I've created, and I have that link the students can go to. They click on it, and it takes them right to that VoiceThread. And I'm going to show you kind of how to do that. If some of you have already enabled the tool on your Blackboard course at the moment, then you can give it a try and sort of start to create one yourself if you like. But if you want to wait, we'll kind of go through it as well together. So this is what your VoiceThread course view looks like. There's only one VoiceThread in here now, but if there were others, you could sort of see them all listed here. Of course, an individual VoiceThread, as we've seen, lots of different examples. So this is what the students will see when they click on the link. And if they click on the homepage link, this is what they'll see. So they'll see all of the VoiceThreads that have been shared with them and all of the VoiceThreads that they have created themselves. And you'll see that they can create a VoiceThread, they can browse through other VoiceThreads as well that have been created, and they can see any other groups that they belong to that have VoiceThreads as well. So once you click on that tools option to make it available in your course, this group is automatically created within VoiceThread, and students will have access to it through their VoiceThread homepage if you give them access.
Faith, a quick question. Is there a way to test it before students see it?
Yes, absolutely. So I always test my VoiceThreads before I have them use them. And so once you create the VoiceThread, the link will be in Blackboard. You can click on it, you can go there, and you can sort of see what it looks like and try it out, just as a student would see it in their view as well. So that's one of the nice things about VoiceThread as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Also, we can create assignments with VoiceThreads, which allow us to set up our VoiceThread task as a graded assignment. So here you can see a teacher has set up assignment number 6, and the student had to comment on a particular VoiceThread. So you can set up different types of assignments with VoiceThread as well. Now that is something that there are a few steps, and I can also go through some of those if you'd like to stay on at the end as well, if there are any other questions. But essentially, when you set up a VoiceThread, you can have it connected to your gradebook quite easily just by clicking on Enable Evaluation in Blackboard when you create that VoiceThread. So it's not a whole lot of extra content to learn, but really you click on Enable Evaluation and you'll see that there will be a column set up in your gradebook already to create this assignment for within your Blackboard for VoiceThread. So you can make it visible or not visible to the students, and of course you can make it available or due on a specific date. You can also allow students to, you can sort of track the number of views, see who has viewed the VoiceThread, and sort of the same typical settings that we do have available in our Blackboard assignments as well. So to do this, once you have clicked on the Enable Evaluation button here, you've clicked yes, you're going to now see a fourth option, which is Assignment Builder. And this will allow you to choose what kind of assignment you want to have your students do. So it will give you the option to either create a VoiceThread, to submit a comment on a VoiceThread, or to watch a VoiceThread. So you can make these 3 types of assignments within VoiceThread for your students as well. Now, getting to commenting on a VoiceThread, we've sort of already seen how the participants can make comments on VoiceThread, and we can see the 5 different options here on the bottom. So when students click on the plus sign, they're going to see the 5 different options available to them to either type their comment, record audio or video, have that phone option if they wish, or to upload an audio comment. Now this is just to make a public comment on a VoiceThread. Now if they want to make a comment that is a private reply to you or to another user, then you're going to have to enable that option when you create the VoiceThread, but you'll see these options here, private reply or reply publicly to that specific user, and of course you can delete your comment anytime.
Hi, Faith. I just had a quick question. Is there a size limit if students are required to provide an audio or video?
So I'm so glad that you asked that question. I promise I didn't plant that person in our audience. So yes, we do have some size limits for the comments, and this is for assignments or just for regular comments. So microphone 60 minutes per comment, then text there's no limit, and so webcam is 60 minutes it says as well. Again, I don't necessarily recommend the longer webcam comments unless you have super, super fast internet, and you know, that's for one particular comment. Of course, you can do multiple comments on each slide, or multiple slides with multiple comments, but one particular comment at 6 minutes is, it's a little bit long, so I do recommend trying it out and see if it does work for you. I find you know, the shorter comments do work best with the webcam, but a phone comment can be 10 minutes per comment, and audio file or video file upload is 100 megs per file. So that may change as well as they grow, but for the moment, that's the limit that we are working within. Okay, so private comments and feedback, as sort of already mentioned, that you can give those private comments. You can use this for evaluation in our School of English Language Studies. All of our speaking and listening courses, we do use VoiceThread for our evaluations. It's an example of a monologue. So we posted a very detailed question with the structures students use, and then just a simple slide up on VoiceThread, and then they will reply privately to the instructor and do their monologue on VoiceThread as well. So it's a handy tool to be able to have the students really work asynchronously and be able to use the evaluation with audio or video within Blackboard.
Hi, Faith. I have a couple questions.
Okay.
Can the instructor moderator delete any inappropriate comments or video?
Absolutely. Yeah, so you are able to delete any of the comments that are within the VoiceThread that you've created by clicking on the little trash can icon, as you can see here. So this is one of my students who replied to the question, and I've just clicked on, I could just click on the trash can to delete the comment. In the same way, you can, there is an option to moderate comments as well. So if you wanted to not have them public, you can do that, or you can certainly monitor them, and you do have the access to be able to delete it.
Okay. And then from an accessibility perspective, is a transcript available for the content posted in VoiceThread?
That's also a great question. And through our license, we do have the availability of transcripts. They don't, it's not like YouTube where it's available right away, unfortunately. It does take 24 to 48 hours to generate that transcript. I was just playing around with it with myself, just to see the feature, but to be honest, I haven't used it myself. So I know it is something that we do have with our license, and it does generate automatically with the speaker. So it'll show up within this text box that comes up here. But it doesn't show up right away, so it takes a bit of time for those to appear, apparently. You might want to just try it out and see, you know, maybe it is quicker. Sometimes they say 24 to 48 hours just to be safe. But again, if you have any particular questions about that, I'm happy to get in touch with the VoiceThread rep as well, because we do have access to this feature through our license.
Great, thank you. And what about in terms of comments or replies back? Can you limit the text or the characters for audio-video responses?
Yes, we can. That is another great thing. For text, actually, that is not. That's interesting. That's the first time I've ever had that question. For text, we can't limit the number of words, but for audio and video comments, we can limit the number of minutes. So the text comment, you would probably have to just give instructions to the students, and they would just type in their text box. And yes, we wouldn't necessarily be able to limit, unless that's a new feature that they do add at some point, because they've been adding more and more features. So that's, you know, it's been, as we get requests, and as I sort of share, we all sort of share our wishes with the VoiceThread team. They try to incorporate these great features that can help us too. So if there's anything you wish that we had, feel free to let me know as well. And I always try to share that with the VoiceThread team.
Great, thank you. Can students record a video on another source and then upload it into VoiceThread?
Yes, they can. So through the, if we go back to this piece here where we see the upload icon, so students can actually upload a video or audio comment from their computers or from another source and do it in this way too. So again, here the limit is 100 megs per file. So I would say to probably try to keep the files relatively short if possible, but it is an option that they do have.
Great. And have you seen individuals or students using it for group presentations using VoiceThread?
For group presentations, so yes, actually, I'm just trying to think of an example that I had of my own group. So one of the ways that you can also collaborate within VoiceThread is that students can add slides as well. This is not a feature that I've really talked about, but I'll go back to, so this is an example here. You can see this little slide navigation icon, and it is one that allows the students to see all of the slides that are in a VoiceThread, and they can also upload their own slides. So for group presenters, they can upload the slides that they have prepared, and then they can narrate their presentation. So I did this with our teachers in training this last semester as well, and they collaborated on the presentation, and they did their presentation together by just uploading their own slides. So yes, it's great for that as well. So again, you can create the VoiceThreads that you'd like, or you can just create one VoiceThread and your students can kind of add the slides that they wish. I have here, I just wanted to kind of mention also, so the private responses always show with a little lock key. And the comment moderation aspect here, to be able to have your responses private, you have to click on enable comment moderation as well. So this will allow the students to reply just directly to you and privately. On here. So this is in my sort of sandbox course that everyone has access to. So if you have your personal development course you wanted to try this out with before you actually do it in your course, you may already have access to this in your list of courses. Oh dear, so I actually have been signed out. Let's see if I will able to go right back in. Okay, there we go. So in your list of courses, you might see one that's called personal development. So you can go in there. And I just set up a little area here called online learning. And I just wanted to kind of show you this welcome VoiceThread is the one that I mentioned within the presentation, and that one I set up sort of last night. And you can see what it looks like. It's basically just a link and it takes you directly right into VoiceThread. Now, if I want to create my own VoiceThread, I'm going to, since I've already gone into the properties, into the tool availability and made it available, I'm going to click on build content. And VoiceThread, as you could see, actually that was pretty quick. I don't know if that was too fast. So build content, and you'll see VoiceThread will appear in your tool area here. If you just go down near to the end and you'll click on that and you'll get the way to set up your VoiceThread. So I'm just going to click here, test, make my title, change the color if you like, and I'll enable evaluation for this one. As you can sort of see, you get the new options when you do enable evaluation. And I'll permit my users to view it. Oh, looks like I have to remember to make sure I put how many points I'd like it to be worth my evaluation. And you can see that it appears directly here as a link within the content area. Now, as we keep in mind that we have to set it up in the two places, this was the first piece, setting it up within Blackboard. And now when I click on test VoiceThread, I'll go right in And this is where I'm going to see the 4 different types of setups. So I'm going to just choose individual VoiceThread for now. And here I'm going to, I can actually choose one from my list if I like, and I've got lots of them that have already been set up from previous courses. So you will have access to any VoiceThread that you have created in any of your other courses as well. So this is where if you teach multiple sections, you can draw from those resources you've already created, which is quite nice. If you do that, however, you must keep in mind that you are bringing over a VoiceThread that you've already created. So you're not going to want to bring that same one over, but you're going to want to duplicate that, and that duplicated, that copy that you've created to share with your students. So for example, this is the one I was referring to where I had the students kind of work together. So I can click on that VoiceThread I've created and make a new copy to share. And that will keep your sort of master copy there, and then it will create a new copy that you will then share with the class, which shares only with that particular group, that class. Was that a question?
What do you mean that you don't want to bring it over?
Oh, I see. Yeah, so bring it over, meaning you don't want to use the exact same VoiceThread, because if you do, you will be bringing over the VoiceThread with all of the comments that you have added and all of your students' comments as well. So if you make a new copy to share, you can change the title. So let's say I'll put Spring 2020. And then I can also choose to include, if I, let's say, only have my comments, it was a lecture, that I had just narrated and I wanted to keep just my own comments, I can include all those comments if I'd like. Or I can include only my comments if my students had commented, and only myself. And myself, or I can just not include any comments at all and start fresh, narrating fresh as well. So once I've done that, I'll choose copy and then share with class. So I'm actually not going to do this option, but I wanted to show you this option as well, because once you get started and you create a whole bunch of VoiceThreads, you'll have access to all of them, and then you can, again, share them with your different sections. But in this case, I'm also going to show you how to create a new VoiceThread. So here I'm going to click Create VoiceThread, and this is where the kind of 1, 2, 3 step comes into play, where it's, you click Create, add your media, and share, but you can do whatever you'd like within those steps as well. So we've chosen to create a new VoiceThread, and you'll have this big circle, and you can either drag and drop your media right here, or you can click on this to add the different sources of media that you'd like. And you can upload a PDF, you can upload a PowerPoint, you can upload a PNG, a JPEG, MP4, so lots of different media types that you can upload as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this image, the PNG file, and I'm going to call this test VoiceThread, and click Save, and that brings your media in here. If you're bringing in a PowerPoint presentation, you'll see the PowerPoint appear, and then you can comment on each slide as you like. So here it's only one slide, and I have clicked on comment to, it's a PNG, so actually the text is not even appearing very clearly here. I'm not sure if you can even really see it, but your different media files, you'll see them in the center, and you can comment on each individual slide as you go along. So I can also add, let's say, my PowerPoint. So I'm just going to drag and drop that in there as well. I've got more slides, so they'll come into here. This is a bit of a larger file, so it might take a little bit of time. You can see that you can edit the slide, or you can delete each slide as well. So I might delete this one here. This one's taking a little bit of time to process. But even as it's processing, as the slides come up, actually this one's taking a bit of time at the moment, but as they start to come up, you can start to comment on them as well. So if you have a very large file and they start to appear one by one, you can do it that way as well. So I apologize, it's taking a bit of time, but I hear some notifications. Are there some questions as well?
Yes. I guess just tied to this one you're doing right now, when you put slides in, then how do you actually add your audio comments to them?
Okay, so that's a great question. There we go. So to add the audio comments, what you're going to do is once the slide goes in, I probably should have chosen a smaller PowerPoint file. This is a little bit too big. So I'm going to delete this one here, and then I'm going to bring in just my PNG. So to comment on this, I'm just going to click on the slide that I want to comment on and click on comment. And so you then are going to click on the plus sign at the bottom of the screen, and here you can record the audio, or you can record video, any of those different methods for recording. So it looks like it's still in the process of uploading. So sorry about that, guys. It seems like it's having a bit of trouble uploading at the moment, but usually it's pretty quick. So I'm going to edit this one here. There we go, it's there. So then it's a PNG, so I'm going to click here, comment. So it can be your video comment, and as you can see, it appears right here on the side as well. And then once you've done that, once you're happy with it, you're going to click share with class, and it will be shared with your course. So you can see it's both in Blackboard and within the VoiceThread area. So yes, again, this PNG, it looks like you can't see the text very well just because of the text is dark on there. But so you want to make sure you have a good image that is contrasting. As you can see, I have a whole bunch here. The students have created presentations. Students upload their own PowerPoints, use images, all different kinds of things. Sometimes, you know, if you have a PNG like that, you have to be a little careful about that. But lots of different ways you can upload media within VoiceThread.